Hello, hello, hello. Getting ready to start the net shortly. Alright, it's 4/23/2019. We'll see if it's a big net or a small net tonight. I suspect it will be a small one. This time of year people get busy and they forget all about it, including me sometimes. So if I don't show up, just know it's because I got tied up doing something else. Hello, I see someone's in. Just getting ready to start the net. How are you tonight? Hello, hello. This is KD2IIN net control. This net is dedicated to
AC2KV.
AC2KV, recognized. How are you tonight? I know we've talked before. I can't remember the name though.
Yes, we have. Good evening, CJ. My name is Chris, and I'm in Olive Bridge, New York. And it's my first check into this net.
Ah, very good. Well, welcome to Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. Some weeks it's busy and some weeks it's quiet, but glad you came along. And okay, yeah, I do remember Chris in Olive Bridge. Fantastic. And how are you this evening? Did I ask that already?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Looks like it's just starting to rain again here, but I guess that's good for anything you're growing, right? So there you go. Other than that, I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm good, I'm good. I had a pretty productive day. Really enjoyed the nice warm spring weather, almost summery weather. But yeah, the last I looked at the forecast yesterday, they were saying mostly sunny today. And then today I refreshed the browser about halfway through the day, and all of a sudden it said cloudy. And I saw that cloud bank come in, and then we got some rain and some weird winds. And now that you said it's raining, I just looked at the map, and yeah, I guess it's gonna rain. So yeah, it is good. You know, it's good to pop the aquifer up this time of year while we can.
Yeah, for sure. But it's good, and the reservoirs seem pretty full. So I think as far as water goes, we're doing pretty well right now.
Yeah. I think we had a good, well, we had a really rainy season late last year, so I think that pumped things up pretty good. And then we've had good snows and rains on and off, so hopefully we'll have a more normal growing season this year. Let's just pause for a minute and see if there's any other check-ins at this time. This is KD2IIN Net Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If there are any further check-ins, please call now.
KD2 RFI, Bob, checking in.
Yeah, Bob, KD2RFI recognized. Any further check-ins?
K2LD, Bob number 2, checking in.
K2LD, Bob number 2. Could hear you as well. Any further check-ins? No further check-ins recognized at this time. Let's roll back to KD2RFI. Bob, how are you tonight?
CJ. Good evening, everyone else. I'm doing well, doing very well. Actually, sitting here with my canine, and we're actually enjoying the rain. Light rain starting to fall. It's really nice. I got you tuned in on your Pharmacy Seeds network on your live stream. It's pretty cool. I discovered that. I think it's pretty neat watching that. A little bit of delay, so it's kind of weird seeing everything come in a little later. But no, everything's going good. I'm happy to be here, and this is one of the nets I look forward to every week. So I appreciate it. Thanks, CJ.
Fantastic. Glad to have you along, and always appreciate your good conversation regarding the net and otherwise. Let's roll on down to Bob, K2LD. He might be mobile. I don't want him to get out of range before we get to say hello. So Bob, pick it up.
Thanks, CJ. Everybody in the net. Yes, I am mobile, but I'm still in Kingston proper. I had to go by Home Depot and pick up a couple odds and ends that I needed after work. Usually Tuesday night's a toss for me because when I get out of work, I start off with the DMR net and there. And let me just drop in because I haven't talked to you for a while. Just drop for a sec. So everything else is doing good. I got some seeds started. I got everything is starting to go. Of course, with my climate, it's a little bit tougher up in the mountains, but everything else is doing good.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it. And glad you checked in. And I know how it is. You get into one net, and before you know it, 3 hours are going by, and you look up and you missed 4 other things you were going to do. Anyway, how are the fig trees coming along? Are they starting to really take off for you?
They are, but I had to do something extremely wrong. I'm just ordering some food at Taco Bell here. Hang on for a second.
Problem. We'll roll back around to you, and we'll just roll back up to AC2KB for the moment. Hello, people.
Yes, here I am. I'm interested to find out, more about what other people are doing as far as gardening and stuff. So I'm basically, as I said, my first check-in here. So I think I'm going to do a little more listening than talking, but anyway, I'm here.
All right, very good. Well, I guess real quick, I'll just fill you in, and then we'll jump back down to K2LD, and maybe he'll be done with his order then. So, Farmers and Garden Net, we have a lot of different people that come in. Bob has a garden kind of set up, and I have a small sort of homestead kind of set up. And just acquired bees. I do all sorts of foliar feeds, trace mineral nutrition, biology. I do some educational videos on YouTube about that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my vein, so to speak. And then KD2RFI Bob is a beekeeper. Also, he's much more experienced than I am, and I think he's got about 15 or 16 hives that are active and made it through the winter. And he's also doing a small homesteading operation, or starting one. So that's kind of everybody's background here, I guess, and I'll just put it back to you briefly to respond.
Okay, very good. I'm very familiar with your YouTube channel. I've watched a number of the videos, and I saw that last the bee video. I think I might have commented that's something I always wanted to do, but where I'm currently located, we have an issue with bears, so I have to, what I consider keeping bees, I have to figure out what to do about that, and I guess put up an e-fence or something is the answer, so maybe in the near future that's something I'll try to do. AC2KB. KD2RFI comment.
All right, K2RFI recognize. Oh, okay, Chris, very good. Okay, well, I recognize your comment now that you mentioned it, and hey, thanks for following my channel too. I appreciate it. KD2RFI, pick up with your comment, and then we'll move back down to Bob. Other Bob.
Yeah. I just want to throw in there. I too
and happy to discuss the various techniques you can use to prevent them. It's really not that bad and not horribly expensive if you want. So I'll be floating around all night. By all means, jump right on in. I refer to CJ for everything that grows from dirt, and him and I do both bees. We bounce ideas off each other all the time. So by all means, if you want to know something, it's definitely something to get into. I could talk almost forever on it.
Yeah, fantastic. We're definitely going to come back and take your bear advice on the bees. Let's just get back to Bob before we lose him on his satellite pass here. K2LD, pick it up.
I'm still in Kingston proper, so it's not shouldn't be too bad. I was saying before that I had to do a cardinal sin on the fig trees. I had to transplant them this time of year. I know it's absolutely not the right thing to do, but the pots they were in 5-gallon buckets. They were just busting from, I guess, sun exposure. They just falling apart. So I got much bigger, like half-barrel type size pots. And I kept the root ball completely intact. Nothing fell out of it, so hopefully it'll still be okay.
It'll be fine.
And I just packed around it with compost, cow manure, and other nice-looking things. Hopefully they'll survive. So far, so good. It's been a week. I got no wilted leaves. Everything looks good so far.
Oh, fantastic. And yeah, if you kept the root balls together, they should be fine. It sounds like you had some nice amendments to it as well. All right, I want to roll back up to K2RFI on the bears and the bees, but before we do that, let me just provide one more opportunity for check-ins. This is K2IN at Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If there are any further check-ins, please call now. No further check-ins recognized. All right, K2RFI, tell us about keeping bears away from bees.
K2RFI. Yeah. Like I said, when I first moved here, I'm up in Greene County, Catskill, New York, about 5 miles north of the Saugerties border, thereabouts. The way my property is situated is it's almost like a natural funnel for pretty much everything wildlife related. And I got a lot of wildlife coming through my property. And at one time, the first year I was here, I had 7 different bear that I could individually identify coming through my property on a regular basis. So I definitely had bear problems. In fact, the one year I was really proud of my electric fence. I spent a lot of time digging holes and putting an electric fence in. I did 4 wires from the ground, about, give or take about 3 feet up off the ground, spaced evenly apart. And I'm sitting there one night with my daughter. I said, "Hey, look, mama bear and the cubs are coming through." And at this time, the cubs were probably about a year old or so, so they're significant size. And they start wandering over towards my bee yard, and we're watching it out the living room window. And I said to my daughter, I said, "Oh, look at this! You're gonna watch your cubs get introduced to electric fence." I said, "You watch." I said, "You watch." I kept saying, "You watch." And it never happened. All of a sudden, I looked and I go, "Oh man, the bears are in my bee yard." And I couldn't figure out what went wrong. Long story short, I pressed for the electric fence on. The easiest way is an electric fence. Electric fence is the absolute easiest thing to use. I ended up saving my bees by running out and chasing the bears away, yelling and screaming like a fool. But
that works too.
A lot of people have heavy bear problems. You really need electric fence. Up in Alaska, they use nail boards, which is, down in this area, completely not safe. You forget about it, you end up walking on the nail boards. Yeah. And it's not good for health concerns for yourself or bacon around the wire, on every wire, on all sides of the electric fence.
Yep.
And it sounds weird. It actually encourages the bears to
Yep.
come and check out your electric
Get
fence.
zapped.
But as soon as they put their nose or tongue to it, it shocks them. It gives them a negative response to the fence, and it's something that's instilled in them, and they remember it, so they stay away from it. Let me take a break for a moment. The whole reason for the bacon is to make sure the bear's first introduction to your electric fence
It's to the nose,
in
to the
front of
face.
his eyes.
Yep.
That's important, because if a bear gets shot behind his eyes or even behind his ears, his natural instinct is to charge forward. And once he charges forward, he's in your bee yard, and it just becomes more natural for him to learn to ignore the shock and push through the wires.
Yep.
He'll just wind up pushing right through it and be in your bee yard anyway, right where he wants to be. So definitely, the bacon is a good trick. I've heard from many, many people regarding bees. I think you said you were down in Olive Ridge, I think. Not too far from Kingston. If you want definite good advice on the bees, check out the Hudson Valley Bee Supply in Kingston, just off 209 by Gustav's Ukraine. Excellent people, excellent resource of information. I go in there and they talk to me for like an hour one day, and actually taught me how to bionnate, something that I really didn't need. But very passionate, very good, very knowledgeable people in there. So I definitely highly recommend that. But as far as bears, really need electric fence. Anybody up in this area really needs an electric fence. All right, I think I talked enough. Back to you, CJ.
All right, very good. This is KD2IN at Control, the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. Thanks, Bob. KD2RFI. That was excellent information on training bears on the electric fence, and so basically the same as you would for repelling deer with electric fence, a little bit lower, and you're using bacon instead of peanut butter to train them to the fence. But excellent information. So I hope that helps you, Chris, AC2KV. And we'll roll back down to K2LD and make sure we catch him before he runs out of range.
Okay, very good. Interesting story on the electric fence there. If you really have a problem with that many bears, if you're not in a city area, I'd be happy to come out and put one on the tag for you this fall. No problem with that. Just curious, the electric fence, does that cause any radio interference? Because it's kind of like a quad antenna. Does it radiate any RFI at all that would interfere with HF or VHF?
I have not really experienced any real noise on my electric fence, but I'll put that back to KD2RFI also to answer.
KD2RFI. Well, I am sitting here. I am less than 100 feet from my electric fence right now. I actually come out and do this net in my vehicle because I don't have a home base set up quite yet. I don't have an antenna mounted. But it definitely does not appear at all to impede the radio transmission. It's on and off type signal from the electric fence, and well.
Transmission sounds fine. I was just curious if you had any sort of issues on it. I don't know exactly what sort of current runs through there. It's just a thought that popped into my head, and that was about it. Back to that.
All right, I can tell you a little more about it, Bob. Mine is about a pulse a second at 10 kilovolts. So it's a DC 10 kilovolt pulse, basically. And I actually have my, well, when I had my HF antenna up, I had it strung inside the fence line, not crossing any of the electric fence, but inside the fence line. And I never really experienced any noise from it either. So I would say no, they're not much of a problem. Unless, of course, you have some sort of a short that's arcing, and then that arcing will cause a click every 1 second or so. And even then, it's not really too bad. Alright, this is KD2IN Net Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If there are any further check-ins, please call now. No further check-ins recognized at this time. We're going to roll back to the top of the list, AC2KV. Hope you learned something.
Yes, I have. Thank you very much for that information, Bob. And I think you're the second person to tell me about that, for lack of a better word, the B store off of 209. I'll definitely have to go check that out. Don't think I'm quite ready to start that this year, maybe the fall, but probably sometime after that. I am very interested. I'm interested in not only just keeping bees for possibly maybe harvesting some honey, but I'm also just to keep the bee population going. Because apparently they're having a hard time as of late. AC2KV, back to you. Back to CJ.
Alright, very good. Yeah, I just got some back in the fall, and I have been wanting to and planning to for a long time, but I wasn't really ready for them. But a deal came up and I took it, and so I have 3 hives here and 2 on another farm. And it's quite a learning curve, but it's been a lot of fun. They're really interesting to learn about and watch and observe. So yeah, a lot of fun. And and Bob can attest to that, because the 2 of us could talk all night just about bees. Forget about the other 20 things. All right, let's roll down to KD2RFI. Pick it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I could talk quite a while about bees. Both listening and giving my opinions. Definitely, I recommend that location. By all means, look me up on CQRZ or whatever and throw my name. KD2 Romeo Foxtrot India, and they know me by name down there. I've bought quite a bit of equipment, and I'm really impressed with them and their passion for beekeeping. They're great people, absolutely great people to talk to. CJ, I've been actually started the garden today. I acquired a bunch of cardboard, and I talked about the measurements of the garden. It was like 25 by 45 feet that I'm starting to put down. I had a lot of cardboard I collected, and it's still not enough, which is kind of funny. Which I kind of knew it wouldn't be, but it was a lot of cardboard I collected. I'm actually, for those of you who don't know, I'm putting down a cardboard layer over top my lawn to impede the grass growth, and then I'm going to put down a combination of chicken bedding that I have, some old chicken bedding. Bedding's been in there for about 2 years, and I'm going to put a lot of that with a lot of chicken manure in over top of the cardboard, and there's a compost pile I have out back that's been decomposing for, I started it when I first moved here about 5 years ago, so it's turning in a few times a year, so it's definitely turning dirt very nicely, and that's going to go over top of it. So it's I actually started it today. I just got to get the timbers and lay the border as soon as I get a chance, probably this weekend, and maybe next weekend, because it's not really looking too good for this weekend. But yeah, I'm definitely, things are looking up and up as the garden is concerned. Get the garden up and running for next year. It'll be awesome. So pretty much that's it going here. The rain just started a little while ago, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. All right, back to you, Ned.
Awesome. Sounds great, and glad to hear it's it's starting to come together for you. And yeah, it takes a lot of cardboard. And you think about if everybody did that, the massive impact we could have just on sequestering carbon just through cardboard. Anyway, yeah, fantastic. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that's rolling along for you. And I want to get back to Bob before we lose him. I always feel like it's hard to keep up with him when he's mobile. Anyway, K2LD, pick it up.
Okay, I appreciate you keeping me in mind there. I'm not quite out of range yet, but I'm getting pretty close.
I thought so.
I did have one question for you. The mycoculture that you add to the soil. I was looking at Adams the other day. It only looks like they have one particular type there. Could you give me a brand name again and where I can get it? And is it too late in the season to add?
Overlook Gold and Spectrum Extra. I would get both of those, and you can order them both online through AEA, Advancing Eco Agriculture. And just go to their shop and go into their products under biological inoculants, and Overlook Gold and Spectrum Extra.
Do they have those in non-industrial full farm size?
I don't know if they do, but they store for a long time, so you could buy them, buy an acre's worth and use it for the next 5 years or something. So, and they're not too terribly expensive for what it is. I think it's like $18 for Spectrum Extra, and I forget what Overlook Gold is, but it's comparable.
They store that long, and then that's not an issue. I thought it was something that had a real short shelf life, like put it in this year and then it's going to be garbage next year. So, okay, I'll take a look. What was the name of that store again?
KD2 net control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners net. Yeah, it's advancingecoagriculture.com, and they also carry foliar feed products and all sorts of other stuff. Excellent stuff. Yeah, they store for a long time. They're very stabilized, and you just add them to water and stir them up and let them sit for about 10 minutes, and then use them, as a feed or a drench or whatever, and inoculate whatever you want to hit. They will make a massive difference in nutrition and availability of nutrition in your soil.
Very good. I thank you for that. And at this point, I think I'll tie the ribbons on because I'm going to be getting into the valleys here, and by the time I get into the canyons, I'm going to be gone. So appreciate you running the net and listening to all the good stuff that's on here. I'll be listening on. K2LD will be clear. 73.
Sounds good, Bob. Thanks for jumping in. Good to hear you in there. And yeah, glad we got to go over inoculants specifically because that's a very helpful and beneficial thing. Let me know what you notice over the next growing season or two with that. Have a safe trip on the rest of the way home, and we will catch you next time around. Glad you joined the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. And we'll roll back to the top of the list to AC2KV.
Yeah, CJ, actually, we're going to be starting up our garden soon. We have, basically, it's just a small, a couple of elevated plots that we've used over the years. We've been at this location for about 9 years. And the first year, we didn't know anything. Well, we still don't know anything, but we really didn't know anything. And we did extremely well, and I don't think we've ever been able to replicate that. We've had everything from tomato hornworm infestations to some sort of leaf fungus that's hit our cucumbers and our tomatoes. So this year I'm going to try to be a little proactive and get the soil all ready, and hopefully this year will be a little bit better. I've been watching videos regarding the hornworms and what I think is the fungus that we had an issue with. So I'm sort of prepared this year, and hopefully it'll be a little better. Back to that.
Very good, very good. Yeah, there's a few critical components there to resist diseases and pests and fungus attacks and that sort of stuff. One of those is those inoculants we were just talking about, that Spectrum Extra and Overlook Gold. Those are, you really almost have to have those to have good disease and pest resistance. And the other thing you need is trace mineral nutrition. You can do that with rock dusts and foliar feeds. There's all different sorts of stuff, but those two are really critical for good, healthy plant immune systems. But yeah, sometimes not knowing is the best thing, because then you're forced to rely on your intuition. And believe it or not, our intuition is pretty good about that sort of thing. But yeah, if there's any advice I can offer you, I'm glad to assist you in any way I can. One thing I would recommend is check out. I actually am just doing a couple of videos on starting strong seedlings. And if you haven't seen those, you should check those out, because I go into trace mineral nutrition and inoculants and all that sort of thing. And believe it or not, the earlier you influence a plant in its life cycle, the more beneficial effect you have in disease and pest resistance and yield.
Okay, excellent. I'll have to look out for the content on your channel. What could you just repeat one more time the website for the BioCoat and the Spectrum Extra?
Yes, of course. It's Advanced Biological Inoculants, and their products list there. Go to that, and then it's Spectrum Extra and BioCoat Gold.
Excellent. I'm definitely going to do that. Thank you very much for the information, and thank you for running this net. AC2KB.
Very good, very good. Glad to help, and glad to get you rolling in a good direction. Hope we'll see you again in a future net soon. Let's roll down to KD2 RFI, just see what else he has to say, and then we'll do a final round, and then we'll go ahead and close the net.
KD2 RFI. Listen to this conversation here, CJ. It made me kind of thinking about what I'm doing here. One of the things I realized is I laid down some cardboard already, and I'm going to have to peel it back up because I totally forgot. I've stopped at like 3 or 4 different stores, and nobody stocks gypsum in their location, which I wanted to put down for my clay soil, which was kind of frustrating. And I, for whatever reason, I totally forgot about it today and started laying down cardboard. But no big deal. I'll just hold off on putting any more cardboard down, and I'm going to put that gypsum, put that down, put the cardboard on top of it. But yeah, that was kind of got me there for a moment. I'm glad we started talking about stuff and made me think of it. One of the other things, I got questions for you, and I can't remember if I asked you before or not, but I do have some fruit trees here. I got a couple apple trees and a pear tree, I think it is. I can't even remember what I planted.
Yeah, that's a little more complex.
I get a lot of problems with bugs, and the one year all the leaves turned brown on it and had fallen off, and I was worried the trees were going to die. What can I do to protect them that would be safe for the bees? Now granted, the bees wouldn't be coming to them until the flowers are open, and after the flowers fall and disappear, shouldn't be an issue. And I'm pretty sure that's when I started having a problem with the pest, is when the flowers had fallen, and I think they should be starting to produce fruit this year. So I would like to put something on them to help protect them if I can, but I do not want it to interfere with my bees, and I don't want it to be...
Yeah, it's... one second. Excuse me. Yeah, it's kind of a complex question, so let's just tear it apart a little bit. First, you want to identify what the root cause of the problem that you have is, and specifically what insect pressures you're working with, because that can help sort of narrow down what the nutritional deficiency is. And then once you can figure out what that is, you can correct for it with some foliar feeds and some trenches. One good thing you might want to do is take a soil sample near those trees, and if your soil is fairly similar between there and the garden, maybe do a sample in the garden as well, and kind of get a ballpark figure of what your soil is. You could do that through AEA, and then you could get recommendations on what you need to do to address the nutritional deficiencies that are there. because that's really the root cause of the problem is both biological and nutritional deficiencies, maybe one or maybe both in combination, probably both in combination. So does that kind of start to address it for you?
Yeah,
I know you want to
yeah, it does. I believe we've talked soil samples before. Now, you said the ACA, Alpha Charlie Alpha. Is that something I would send the soil sample out to and they give me a report back?
Yes, yes, and it's AEA, Advancing Eco Agriculture, or Alpha Echo Alpha. Yeah, I think it's like 25 or 35 bucks, something like that, for a soil test, and then that'll give you a full soil analysis, and then you have an idea what you're working with. And the other thing you could do is you could actually take leaf samples and do a sap analysis, and that would tell you where things are at in the season. But I would figure out what your soil base is first and try and get that as solid as you can first, and then work on your canopy and your plants a little more as you have a better idea of what's going on. But it's probably going to take you a year or two, in all reality, to get it up and up to par. Maybe as much as 3. Perennials are a little bit tougher to work with initially, but with the right tools, you can figure it out and straighten it out and not have to use pesticides. And yeah, I agree. Let's keep those out of the system if we can. What was the other? There was something else I was going to say, and I don't remember what it is now, so I'll break for a sec. This is KD2 and control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. Yeah, I don't remember what the other thing I was going to say was, but so that's how to get started. Oh, and wood chips is a huge thing too. Put down good heavy mulch layers underneath these trees. Protect that biology, and in addition, put those same inoculants that you're going to put in the garden. Also put those on those trees, on and in and under those trees. Cover the tree with those inoculants. That will help tremendously, because that'll unlock a lot of that trace mineral nutrition, and it'll inhabit those trees and their root systems with good fungi, and those good fungi will build strong communities, and so bad fungi can't get in and attack.
Alright, KD2R5. Alright, yeah, definitely, I hear you on that. The trees just so happen to be within, they can be measured in feet of the garden. They're really, I mean, they're not on top of the garden, but they're definitely
Even better.
in the same soil samples. So the soil should be pretty consistent throughout. Alright, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so that will make that soil sample even that much more beneficial to you, because it'll tell you where everything in your garden and your orchard is at the same time, and then you have a baseline of what you need to address and that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm sure AEA can help guide you through that, or we can find somebody who is knowledgeable enough about reading soil samples and applying that, because in all honesty, I'm not. I understand that concept, but I'm not an expert in that subject.
I definitely want to, if I can balance things out and make a productive garden and trees, that would be obviously job one for me. I definitely don't want to put anything down that's going to affect the bees. I'm a big bee person, and and that's one other thing I forgot to mention earlier. We mentioned, a gentleman had mentioned earlier about the bees being endangered. Yes and no. My understanding, and you can definitely do the research and find out maybe a more specific answer, and correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is the wild bees, like the bees that are in trees and living out in the wild and in more natural environment, are definitely declining, but
The wild pollinators.
home beekeepers or domestic beekeepers, so to speak, are definitely on the upswing, so which is added to the population, which is helping. But again, you want a more natural environment for the bees and whatnot. One of the big problems they're having right now is one of the other pollinators is bumblebees, of all things. They are in a massive decline, given the Thank you very much. Back to you, Nat.
All right, very good. And yeah, the wild pollinators are just read an article on how they're that much more in danger. They're also saying that they're relocating from lower elevations to higher elevations. And there was a suggestion that that's due to climate change. I don't know. I don't think we can make a correlation or a causation from a correlation, shall we say? Anyway, yeah. So that's excellent information. And I guess we're going to go ahead and do a final round here back to AC2KV, and then we'll go ahead and close the net up. But thanks for all the excellent information, Bob. I always appreciate your input and your thoughts on things. AC2KV, pick it up. This is KD2.
Alrighty, I just want to thank both of you, Bob and CJ, for the very helpful information that I've gotten from you tonight, and I hope to be able to check into future days.
Hey, Mimsy.
Usually I'm commuting at about this time, so I don't always
Sorry,
get
wasn't
within
paying
computer
attention.
range by the time the net's going on. So sometimes I look at I call it the replay that you have on the YouTube channel, CJ.
Awesome. So that is helpful.
So it's kind of it's interesting to watch, but it's obviously much more fun to participate. So hopefully I'll be able to do it again in the future. Again, thank you both, and thank you for running the net, CJ. I think it's a great resource. AC2KB.
Very glad to run the net. Glad to have people with likewise interest in here, and glad that you're using the YouTube replay. I wasn't sure if that was helping anyone or not, but it sounds like it's helping at least one person, so that's good. Yeah, much appreciate your joining in, and I hope you can join us again when you're not commuting. Very good. Thank you for joining. One last round here for KD2 RFI, and then I'm going to go ahead and close the net up.
KD2 RFI is the one with the call sign, just to mislead people into thinking he's really just a tech. But I only have the knowledge of a tech. But anyway, again, I want to appreciate you, TJ. Thank you. I enjoy this net every week.
Awesome,
I
Mimsy.
appreciate the free advice and knowledge that we can gain just from jumping on every week. All right, I appreciate it. I'm going to be stepping off, and like I said, every week 4:30 comes early, so I got to start thinking about other things at this moment. Everyone, 7-3, KD2 RFI. I'm clear.
All right, very good. Well, thank you also for joining the net. I always appreciate your commentary and thoughts and insight on things. All right, this has been a session of the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net, sponsored by the Overlook Mountain Amateur Radio Club, located in Ulster County, New York. If you want to know more about our club, please visit our website at www.omarclub.org. That's whiskey, Oscar Mike, Alpha, Romeo, Charlie, Lima, Uniform, Bravo, Oscar, Romeo, Golf. Thanks to all those who participated. This is KD2 and saying 7-3, inviting you to join us again next week, every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. We have one other net on this repeater. It is the Thursday night net, typically the rag chew type net. Thursday nights at 8 p.m. and that is usually run by K2JLV. That is every Thursday except the third Thursday when our club has meetings. If you want to know more about our meetings, please visit our website at www.omarclub.org. That is all. This net is officially closed and this repeater is back under regular amateur use. Thanks to all those who participated. This is KD2 and saying 7-3. I will be clear.
Great job, CJ. I only got the end of the net, but great job.
Thanks, Jed. Much appreciated. So how's Geeky and Mimsy? Everybody all good? Pruning tomatoes. Them maters gonna outgrow you yet. Wait, pruning tomatoes? Is that your secret code word for your slugging back beers with the slugs? Hashtag Slug Carlton. did I accomplish today? Oh man. I got a whole lot of transplanting done. I got all the rosemary out of the greenhouse. Let's see. I did a foliar feed on all the seedlings. I did a foliar feed on some targeted plants. I did a lot of watering. Kiki telling me to be good. Oh, come on. I got to stir it up with Mimsy a little bit, Kiki. What else? What else? I picked up some seeds. Oh, yeah. Picked up some bodacious sweet corn and some beets. Early wonder. We'll get those in soon. Our soil temps are up to 52 degrees, so that's exciting. And what else did I do today? Well, the sun was out for a little bit. That felt nice. About decided to get IRDs. IRDs. You mean IEDs? Slug IEDs? Little firecracker? The Mimsy militia? Yeah, so I did a bunch of stuff today. I'm getting motivated. The weather is finally warming up. Getting me excited to get farming. Indian runner ducks. Ah, there you go. IRDs. I mean, you know, it's not far off from IED. Indian runner ducks, that makes sense. Yeah, I hear ducks are a great way to control slugs. Yeah, I want to get ducks too, but I want to close in the electric fence, and I want to put in some sort of a pond up here that they can be on. I don't want them way down in the back where I can't protect them, or have to run electric fence all the way down there. So I've looked at putting a pond in up here, but I got some tractor repairs and other stuff to do first, and I'm still entirely not sure that I'm going to put a pond up where I was looking at. And they don't scratch. That's true. What have you been up to, Geeky? How's your robotics project coming? Oh, yeah, I hear you, Mimsy. Yeah, that's, my chickens are kind of like that. They keep me home. It's good, they keep me from wandering. Getting into trouble. Ending up down south in Missouri, drinking Slugweiser. Appalachian Homestead Conference. That sounds cool. FTDI. Yeah, they are cheaper without a USB circuit. Yeah, the FTDI chips aren't cheap at all. Well, that sounds like an awesome trip, Mimsy. I see a lot of these homestead get-together things happening. I'd love to go to them, but they're all so far away. But the reality is, even if they were 100 miles from me, I don't have the time or the money to go. There you go. Fast trip, 3-day. That'll be fun, though. Meet a lot of cool people that way, I'm sure. So do you have real FTDI chips, Geeky? Because you know there's a lot of knockoffs out there, right? They don't work well with the drivers for the real FTDI chips. At least for programming radios, we've had tons of trouble with those. They sell a lot of fakes. Speaking of that, did you see the Raspberry Pi 4? Oh, I think I told you that it's coming out. Did I mention that has FPGA on board? FPGA. Okay, you got a good one from Adafruit. Yeah, yeah. They're worth spending the money on, because the reality is that the knockoffs don't work for crap. And you got to get knockoff drivers. It's a nightmare. It's not worth it. Pay them whatever it is, 20, 30 bucks, and be done with it. Good. Glad it works. Nothing more frustrating than go to program something the cable doesn't work, even though it acts like it does. I'd verify on my channel because I'm limited to 15 minutes. Oh no, I can yap a lot longer than that. Verify. I think you got to. I forget how you get to it in the control panel, but you go to the verify option, and I think they call your phone number and confirm. You know, you punch in a code when they call or something like that. It's really easy to do. Built into the Linux version of the Arduino IDE. Very nice. That's a good shameless plug. Well, anything Linux doesn't have its head up its butt. I mean, if it's Windows, it's probably got its own head up its butt. Do you not have a computer for anything like this, Mimsy? Or you just want to do it through the phone? Yeah, Windows and Mac have to download for sure. Not that that's a big deal. But if you get a knockoff and you download the driver and it doesn't work, and you think you got the driver and it's not working, that's annoying. That can waste hours of time. I know people have wasted hours of time. Well, your garden and greenhouse are rocking, Mimsy. I'm impressed. Buffering. That's always fun. I'm showing a decent stream health here, so should be okay. We might eventually switch up to FiOS. We'll see though. Oh, you buffered too? Oh, maybe it is my end. Well, anyway, I can't stick too long tonight either, guys. I have a bunch more stuff to do, and I got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I would think the app would provide full support too. Oh, self-service stinks. Well, yeah, that don't help. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this out, guys. I got to rock and roll. I'm sorry. Yeah, go to YouTube Studio. It's really easy from there. Peach and pear cuttings a while back. Any success? No. They should have been taken in the fall. They were taken in the spring. My friend who brought me the cuttings took them in the spring because I was talking about it in the fall. So I thought I'd try it anyway, but no. Wrong time of year, and the greenhouse got too hot, too fast for establishing cuttings. You really want cool, slow growth weather to establish cuttings. So no success on that. Really better to buy trees or start from seed and graft your own. There's a bunch of things you can do, but no, that was not successful, unfortunately. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side, Mimsy. Thank you guys for participating, for watching. Much appreciated. Love you all. 3 pear cuttings taken a couple of weeks ago, and all are starting to show new growth. Awesome. Awesome. Well, maybe I should do a retry. I have a pear tree here I want to play with again, and it's doing really well now that I've given it some foliar feeds and some love and Good, the sunlight back to it again, so maybe I'll try it. Yeah, glad to have you along, Geeky Gardens, and yeah, we had some good conversations tonight. Good topics and discussion. So exciting. You know I do. You know I do. Not like that. Don't let homesteading the hard way twist it around on us. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining, and everybody, happy spring. It's here. The season is here. It's on.